I don't do resolutions for the new year. I just do goals. Resolutions are this, goals are that. And I get it because I'm one of those people.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Keisha Jante, and today we are going to be putting together my digital vision board for 2026. Now, I know there are some people out there that are like, I don't do resolutions for the new year. I just do goals. Resolutions are this, goals are that. And I get it because I'm one of those people. I'm just like y'all. But I know, like, at the end of the day, it's just a rose by another name, whether you call them goals or resolutions. We're just trying to accomplish some things, make our lives easier, make our lives better. So hopefully y'all will enjoy this video of me putting together my vision board for the goals that I want to accomplish in 2026. I actually recently read a book called, well, let me say this. I listened to, because I know that there's some book purists out there that are like, if you didn't actually read it with your eyeballs, then you didn't read it. Listen, whatever. I consumed a book called How I Changed My Life in a Year by Shelley Wilson. And in the book, she basically talks about how at the beginning of a new year, hers just so happened to happen around a new year, but you don't have to wait till the new year. But at the beginning of a new year, she does do resolutions, but she does one resolution a month. So she can focus on one thing and then move to the next thing. Now, whenever she, completes that one thing, she continues it for the next month, but it's easier for her than trying to do all the things at once. I thought that was a really good idea, and I thought that it was something that people who struggle with resolutions and end up quitting them all by the end of the month might actually, benefit from. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't finish the book. I felt like after the first couple chapters, I got the gist of it because she talked about what she was going to do. And then every chapter after that was like each month what she did and how she accomplished that goal. I felt like I didn't need that part. Maybe I might be missing something, but I thought it was a good idea. So I'm going to be implementing that this year, each month. Now, encompassing each month, is that the right word? Grouping each month in the quarters, I have a word of the quarter. Now, usually I do a word of the year, but for 2026, I felt like I wanted to break up my year into different areas. And so I'm doing a word of the quarter that relates to my theme of the year. So we got every kind of like part of the calendar broken down. We got a theme of the year, we got a word of the quarter, and we have a goal or resolution for each month. So my theme for each quarter is Q1 is intentionality. This is where I'm going to be like laying the foundation, building out the stability for the goals that I want to accomplish. Financial goals. Actually, I'll talk about exactly what buckets I have, but that's Q1, intentionality, laying the foundation. Q2 is execution. So now I'm going to be executing on my goals. And it's not even necessarily just executing on the goals or the plans that I put in place in Q1, but for me, execute is also like, if I say that I need to do something, get up and do it. Like, don't just say, oh, I need to X, Y, and Z, and then sit around and it doesn't get done. I've used execute as a word of the year before, and that was kind of the lens that I took it at. Like, if I say I want to go work out, get your ass up and go to the gym. Don't wait. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until the next week. Don't wait until, whatever. Just get it done. So that's really what execution is about, and also executing on the plans that I created in Q1. Q3 is discipline. So this is where I lock in. Once I've created the plans, once I've executed the plans, now I'm locking in to grow whatever the goal is that I have, scale it for business, personal, whatever it is. I'm growing it, I'm scaling it, I'm locking in, and I'm not giving up. And then Q4 is consistency. So this is where at this point, I'm not going to say it should be smooth sailing, but now we've, locked it in. We've done the repetition. It should be closer to be second nature by now. So if I'm talking about I want to go to the gym, it should be easy for me to get up and go to the gym because now I'm being consistent and I should be seeing the results of that consistency. So those are the 4 themes or 4 words that I'm using for the quarter: intentionality, discipline, or intentionality, execution, discipline, and then consistency. And then my overall theme of the year is systems, not stress. So this theme is going to be related to putting things in place that eliminate decision fatigue for me, because there's a lot of things that I need to get done and don't get done because I have to think about it, or I have so many decisions that need to be made and I end up shutting down. So putting systems in place to automate things, like just automate my bills. Like at this point, my bills should have already been on auto pay, but I have a mental block that I had years ago when I wasn't making as much money as I am, and it just kind of stuck with me. So now I'm like, there's no reason for my bills to not be on auto pay. So put them things on auto pay. I don't have to worry about paying them. They just come out when they're due. I don't have to worry about late fees or anything like that. Or creating automations in the businesses that I'm growing so that I don't have to be physically present at in the business all the time in order to generate revenue. So again, the theme of the year is systems. And for each of the buckets of goals that I'm working on, I plan to think about systems that I can implement to help me reach those goals. Speaking of the buckets of goals that I'm working on, I have 6 buckets for the year, and it may seem like a lot, especially because there's like 3 to 5 goals within each bucket. But with me implementing systems in order to help me reach these goals, some of the goals are just kind of like one and done type of thing, or set it and forget it type of thing. I don't think that it's going to be too much. I think that it's pretty reasonable. Some of them are things that I'm absolutely going to hit. I just need to write it down so I can make sure I hit it. Some of these things are going to be more of a stretch or more of a reach for me, more of a challenge. And if you know me, you know I love a challenge. So I didn't want I didn't want to create all my goals that are going to be like so far out of reach that I just cannot reach them, or I'm going to burn out trying. But I also didn't want all of my goals to be something that I can hit tomorrow, or, immediately the beginning of the year, and then I have nothing to work on or improve on for the rest of the year, because that's how my mind would work, right? So the 6 buckets are personal development. So this bucket is where I'm going to be organizing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, doing things like more reading, doing journaling, having more regular sessions with therapists and coaches, personal coaches like life coaches and business coaches, and like making plans, and not just like, hey girl, let's go out, let's make plans, like that too, but making plans to reach my goals. What do I need to do? Action items, instead of just kind of like, we'll see what happens, right? So that's number 1, personal development. Number 2 is professional development. So this is where I'm going to be sharpening my tax skills, where I'm going to be doing more advanced training in advanced tax topics, not just getting continuing education because I need to get the continuing education credits, and it's just like bullshit credits that I already know. I just need to get the credits, but actually like deep diving. I'm already an expert in my field, but I want to become like irreplaceable. I want to become like the go-to expert, not just at work, but also in my businesses. So I will be diving into more complex, advanced tax topics, doing a lot of research. So like I will be talking about systems, since the theme of the year is systems. Like I will be blocking off time on my calendar to where the only thing I'm going to be doing during this time is learning, doing continuing education, researching, writing, like rewriting what I'm learning to make sure I understand it. Speaking of systems, going back to personal development, I want to do like habit stacking. So in the morning, I always have my, morning tea. That is probably the one thing that is a consistent like part of the morning routine, other than like, washing my face and stuff like that, brushing my teeth. But that's one thing that is part of a morning routine that I do consistently. And I feel like, or I will plan on, since one of the things that I want to do as part of personal development is to do more journaling, then while I'm having my morning tea, I can do my journaling at that point. So that's a habit stack. So where I know I'm going to be having my morning tea, let me also journal so I can make sure I get that done. I'm looking down because I have notes, by the way, because I got to make sure I'm saying what I'm supposed to be saying. Also, please forgive me if I sound crazy. If I do a little bit of coughing, I'll try to edit that out. But every time I go home in the wintertime, I get sick. I think it's just because there's nasty people on the plane and I have a cold. So anyway, bucket number 3 is my money goals or my money moves. So this is me getting very intimate with my money, right? I mentioned in a previous video that my finances are going to be a big focus area for me this year. I make a decent amount of money. I make multiple six figures, right? And a lot of people feel like that means that I'm budgeting. That means that like I know all the answers, and I don't. So part of 2026, my money moves is going to be me like getting really intimately acquainted with the budget, tracking my spending every day, paying down debt and not running it back up. Basically all of those things, and a system that I plan to incorporate very similarly to the personal development habit stacking. I'm going to do habit stacking on the end of the day where I have my evening tea, and then I can be reviewing my expenses during the day that I had, for the past 24 hours or whatever. So morning time, have my tea, do my journaling. Evening time, have my tea, review my expenses, see where I need to make any changes at. If I did more than I was supposed to do, if I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I can make changes. And doing it daily, at least in the beginning, doing it daily will help me stay focused. Bucket number 4 is my health and wellness bucket. So this is where I'm going to focus on taking care of my body, working on my mobility because your girl is stiff. I've started going to a chiropractor in December, and she has told me that I do not have the appropriate range of motion for somebody my age. So I need to work on that. So in addition to working on my mobility, I'll also be more diligent in knowing my numbers, getting labs routinely to see what's going on in my body, where, I need to make changes or things like that. So that is bucket number 4. Bucket number 5 is business growth. I don't even know if y'all know that I have business. Actually, I have 2 businesses. I launched one last year, and the goal is to grow those businesses to independently to 6 figures or more. And so I am going to be focused on growing my business intentionally. So a system there is creating blocks on each specific day of what I need to be doing. So one day I will be creating courses. One of my businesses is a course business. So one day I will be creating the courses. Another day I'll be doing the admin work. Another day I will be doing the marketing. Another day I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So I can make sure that I'm intentionally setting time aside for these activities. And then the last or 6th bucket is relationships and community. So this is me being very intentional with my time, with my friends, with my family, with myself. And a system that I will be implementing for this bucket is something as simple as another habit stack. So for example, on my lunch break, I can make sure I call my grandma, both of my grandmas, talk to them, see what they're doing, see what's going on with them, listen to them, basically just making sure I am intentional about talking to people or spending time with people that I love. Maybe not so much going back home in the wintertime again, because every time I go home in the winter, I am sick coming back. But being more intentional with the people that I love. So that's just a little sneak peek into what I'll be focusing on this year. I don't like pretend that I'm going to knock this out of the park 100%. This is just a plan of things that I need to focus on, and I will be able to review it check in each month and see where I'm doing good at, where I need to put more focus in. And that's going to be really where my focus is going to be for 2026. You can let me know also down in the comments if you want to know exactly what my goals are. I kind of just talked about high level overview, but if you want to know exactly what goals I'm going to be working on in 2026, or if you want to know more about a specific bucket, let me know down in the comments and I can make a video for you about that. So now on to the actual vision board. I, again, am creating mine digitally in Canva. I want to have it printed out. So what I did was when I created a new template or a new blank board, I chose a poster size. So obviously on the screen, it's going to show up normal size, but choosing a poster size, 36 inches wide, 24 inches tall, that will allow it to have high quality enough so that when I do get it printed, it's not going to show up distorted or blurry or whatever the case, right? So I chose again 36 by 24 inch template, and I created a box in each or I created 6 boxes, one for each of the buckets. And then in those boxes, I will be putting things related to the goals that I have in those boxes. I do want this to be functional, not just pretty. So I'm not just going to post like a house, right? Because I want a mansion someday. Like, I think this is the difference between what some people do vision boards and how I work on my vision boards. I'm not going to put a picture of Michael B. Jordan and say, I want this man, and I'm going to visualize it and manifest it, and one day he's going to be mine. I'm going to put realistic goals that I will be able to actually achieve, hopefully throughout the year. So if it's something I can't do, then I'll obviously just roll it over to the next year. But the goal is to get as close as possible. So once I complete the vision board and get it printed, and it may not be like a 36 by 24. I just went that size because that's probably the maximum size that I would get if I were to print it out. But I can get it smaller. But because I have it, set at that size, then doing it smaller should be fine. But if I did it smaller, one of the bigger size, it would be distorted. But because I'm going to have this printed out, I'm going to put it up somewhere in my house. It's either going to be in my office or my flex space or my closet, somewhere that I'm going to be able to see it every day, and then do a monthly check-in and see what's working, what's not working, what I need to focus on, and what's completed. So now I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to just let you see what I'm doing.
Everywhere I go, the people really wanna know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me. If it's said once, no need to repeat. Run up on me, watch you fall to your knees. Tip my hat when it's time for the kill. Ain't no beast when you're really real. I am the boss, I am the dawn. I am the one they call Lucky Charm. Got my own shit, I don't need your farm. Life was so hard, it made me weak. Built to last, this girl ain't weak. Sturdy and still when I plant my feet. Got it out the mud, now it's racks in my sleep. Look to God, he supplies my needs. Endless faith is what brought me next level prosperity. Silent power moves is what I'm giving. They love to hate the world they can't live in. Always present for the high roads. Go swim within the deep lows. What told the future? Who knows? I don't do it for the likes, I do it for the love. Do it for the ones who really needed a hug, cause they had it tough, never had enough. Feared, loved, and respected. Using words as a weapon. Test and she. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Smile in my face, would in my place, but act gully on cyberspace. Let's pump brakes, let's be frank. Running after him when you're the chase. You are the catch and he's the net. How quick we do.
Things are thinging. So like I said, the goal is for this to be functional. I don't know why I just had a brain fart. The goal is for this to be functional. So everything that I'm putting on here relates back to a goal. It may seem a little haphazard, and it may seem a little weird, and it's definitely not as pretty as some of the other vision boards are. But I look at this and I can say, okay, yes, I need to make sure I have a budget and stick to it. I need to create my 5-year plan. I need to make sure I'm getting my continuing education credits each month or for the year. So it's not necessarily pretty, but I think it's functional. Okay, this is what we got so far. So again, this is the overall board. It's 36 by 24 inches. And then each of the buckets, so this is the personal development, this is the money, this is professional development, this is business, this is health, this will be relationships and community. And the reason I haven't completed it yet is because I actually want to put my own pictures in here, because I started looking at like pictures of random people, but I'm like, I got pictures of me and my friends. I got pictures of myself. I got pictures of my family. So I'm just going to find pictures to put that in there. I'm not about to do that right now. So maybe I'll show an update later, but once I have it printed. But that's what I have so far. Across the top, I'm going to have an area where I can put the intention for the quarter. So when I have it printed, I'm going to have it printed like laminated or something so I can write on it with dry erase. So it's going to be like for Q1, it's going to say intentionality. So we know what my focus is for that quarter. And then Q2, we'll change it. And Q3 and Q4, we'll change it again. So that's what we have so far. Again, each of the things that I have on here related to a specific goal. So like, for example, I want to generate at least $8,500 per month on average in my business in 2026. That's just over $100,000 for the year. So I put that on my goals. I want to purchase a tax business, a virtual tax firm. So I put acquisition on here. So that is the almost completed vision board. Again, I'll fix this, add the little header, and then get it printed with the lamination so I can write on it with a dry erase marker. So let me know if you are doing a vision board or if you've done a vision board for 2026. I know some people do them earlier than just now. But also let me know if you are doing a vision board, do you prefer physical vision boards or do you prefer digital vision boards? And if you do digital, do you print them out or do you just keep them on your phone? If you're new, please make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss my next update, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.